Hi there, it's Liz Yuille from Old Stables Crafts, UK independent Stampin' Up demonstrator. Today I am bringing you a project using the Lovely Wishes stamp set, and there seems to be a certain symmetry in using this because this was one of the first stamp sets that I got to see from the Spring Summer catalogue, because if you remember I was honoured to have been asked to present it at the onstage in November, I have to think my brain, yes, November last year, so November 2017, which is when the Spring Summer catalogue was launched to demonstrators. And I got this, 2.5, 3 months before that. So I've kind of lived with it for quite a long time, and I think because of that, I've tended not to use it that much, because I used it a lot in the lead up to onstage. However, it's gorgeous. I'm hoping at the time when you see this, it's still available, but as you know, I record in advance, so who knows, because things are selling out ridiculously fast. So, the card I am making is this. It uses, apart from the gold embossing powder, Versamark and gloss card, everything I have used is on the retiring list, and again, just because it was there when I got to make the video doesn't mean it still is. Things really are selling out incredibly fast. So, and our poor warehouse, they're working double shifts and over the weekend and goodness knows what. So they need to be thanked. Right, let's get started. I need the scrap for later. I'm going to start by grabbing my embossing buddy and just giving my gloss cardstock. I'm using some slightly different measurements, but don't worry because all the measurements will be on my blog, which is linked immediately below, and it's the post for this video that is linked immediately below. So all you have to do is click on that and you will get all the information you need, including the items I have used and all that good stuff. So, and there's also details of the giveaway that I'm doing. So if you're in the UK and you shop with me in April, or have already shopped with me in April, for every £25 you spend and use the hostess code, you will be entered to win a pack of Many Marvellous markers. When I'm filming this, it's on low inventory. Whether it's on low inventory or not, it's still worth £99. So that was Versamark, I should have said, and I'm just putting some gold embossing powder over the top. So yes, it's worth £99, and for every £25 you spend with me in April, I will enter you into my prize draw to win that. If you shop with me and your order is over £150 and you become your own hostess, that is fine. I should say host or hostess. Just noticed I've got a little bit of powder there that I don't want. I will still enter you into the prize draw. It's just, that's better. It's just, I'll only give you one entry because you will get lots of free stuff with your order. But, so the choice is yours. You can either enter into the draw or not. Anyway, sorry, my brain is going at 50 million to the dozen. So I've got that within gold embossing powder. This is my trusty cheese board. I'm just using this piece of just scrap Whisper White just to save the gloss, because I have noticed that on the original the clip did dent the gloss because it's gloss. So I'm just heating up my heat tool, and then we'll do a bit of alchemy. There we go. I love watching this. I can't watch it too many times. There we go. Ooh. Right. Okay, so that's that done. It has warped the card a little, but it's fine. So, I've got these kind of filigree leaf, and I'm using just that actually, and then some infills, and I'm using Wild Wasabi and Pink Pirouette. A colour scheme I would not have thought of had they not been on the retiring list. But there we go. I quite like it, actually. Had I but tried it sooner. Never mind. So I'm just going to stamp in the corner. You do need to be very careful. This is gloss card, so it's going to be slippery. So do be careful. The ink will dry on gloss card. You'd think it wouldn't because it's glossy, but it does. So these I want a bit further out. Just do be aware that it could skid. Fortunately, because we're going off the gloss, it's less likely to skid because we've got this scrap behind. There we go. Right, while we're using green, I'm going to just stamp off and then come in and just... This doesn't actually fit precisely. It's close, but it's not precise. So it's quite a good one for the first time you use two-step stamping, because it doesn't matter too much if you don't line up fully. And also using the gloss card, because it doesn't matter if it lines up fully. If you do skid a little bit, that doesn't matter either. So it's perfect for beginners. There we go. Right, I would recommend cleaning your stamps as you go, but for the sake of the video, I'm not going to. Right, Pink Pirouette. It is a very, 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 very pale pink. But that's fine. So I've got two of the little kind of heart shapes. And the first thing I'm going to do is get some ink onto the flowers, and I'm just kind of stamping it a couple of times just to get it filled in. It's not fully dry yet. I'll probably come in with my heat tool, and I am skidding a wee bit, but it doesn't matter because A, it's a pale colour, and B, it doesn't matter because it's a solid shape, so it really, really, really doesn't matter. Right, I'll just make sure that's not got too much of the wild wasabi on it before I come in and I'm just going to add some of the same shape of the stamp onto my card base, and I am deliberately going to go off the side a wee bit and then turn over so I've got the teeny weeny one, and then come in a bit more and just add, this is just to break up the white a bit because it can look a bit stark. There we go. Right, I'm just going to blast that very gently with my cooler setting on my heat gun, just to dry properly. And I can see when the wet ink has turned, because it's a bit darker before it dries. So, and it then dries matte. The gloss cardstock is interesting in, well, I mean, if you're sad like me and find these things interesting, it actually has a sort of chalk coating on it, which is how it ends up glossy. Don't ask me how, but it does. So if we were to add water, even with a stronger colour, the chalk would lift and make the colour paler and chalky. Right, so I've got a matte of Pink Pirouette. This is deliberately not even all the way around. I'm doing that sort of Polaroid look. And I'm just going to add some fast fuse to the back of, I say back, the front, I should say. It's not the back. It's clearly not the back. I really wonder about my brain power sometimes. Right, and I'm just going to be slightly careful, just in case it isn't fully dry, and then just turn it over and smooth it. There we go. Right, I've got a couple of pieces of the very narrow, the 1/8 inch gold trim. I'm going to tie that. Again, I need my fast fuse. I'm going to put far too much fast fuse, but it means I know I'm going to attach myself to it, or rather attach the ribbon to it. It's almost as if that's where I needed it to be. There we go. And then I've got another piece of the gold ribbon, and I'm just going to pop that under there. Now, if you're not very good at bows, join the club, but you could just tie a knot, a half knot. I'm just going to do effectively a half knot in that I'm doing my double bunny bow. So 2 loops and just pull it into a half knot and then adjust the ends. You can spend a little more time getting your bow perfect, and then grab your scissors and trim. And the only prerequisite as far as I'm concerned is that you cut them so that the points are either at the top or the bottom. Doesn't matter which, and the ends should be longer than the loops. For me, it just looks weird if you don't. Right, I've got a Wild Wasabi card base, which is half a sheet of A4 cut in, sorry, a sheet of A4 cut in half and then scored down the middle. I've left this on the heated floor and it's curled a bit, so I'll straighten that out. That's better. Right, and I'm going to attach this with dimensionals, just to give it a little more pop. And for down the middle, I'm just going to use this edge piece just to kind of hold that up as well. And then take the backings off, which is always easier when you've stuck your dimensionals on properly. And then pop this on the front of your card. There we go. So let's clear some of the rubbish away. Those are our 2 cards. I think they're so pretty and elegant and gorgeous, and the fact that they are shiny. Can I? Yeah, there you are, see. Isn't that lovely? It's lovely. So I hope you've enjoyed that. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. If you don't already subscribe, bottom right hand corner, little red button. That would be lovely. Hop over to the blog post to find the dimensions and all the stuff I've used. Fingers crossed they are still available wherever you're watching this. And as I say, if you shop with me in April and use the hostess code, then for every £25 you spend in April, you will be entered to win the Many Marvellous Markers. £99 of Many Marvellous Markers. And obviously when the new catalogue comes out, you can add the new colours as you need them. So that's great. Thank you very much indeed for watching, and I will see you very soon.